Actually, I am a 67-year-old teacher. About 8 days back, I tripped on a stair and fell. Both my knees completely flexed. There was painful swelling, which was hemarthrosis, contusions. I sustained more injury on the right side as on the left, but on less on the left side. So this is my clinical picture, and since I am an orthopedic surgeon, I would explain to you how without in massive extensor expansion injury, the person can still get up and walk and do things of physiotherapy. So first of all, let us understand the mechanism of locking. The basic thing is that if this is the femur, and this is the tibia, and here you have the patella. Here you have a muscle which is called as the quadriceps, and it is inserted onto the tibia by the ligamentum patelli. And on the back side you have the hamstrings. The tibia is the socket, the femur is the ball, and the axis of movement always passes through the center of the ball. Now if you stand up, then this position becomes this. So from this position, the femur moves to this position. And the line of gravity from the head of the femur to the foot passes anterior to the axis of femur. So when this line of gravity passes anterior to the axis of the femur, in this position the weight of the body, which is somewhere here, would keep on flexing the knee, and this flexion of the knee would be opposed by the quadriceps muscle, which is here, the extensor apparatus. Now this was my position, and my quadriceps couldn't hold. Because of the fall, I kept on falling like this, and I ruptured this extensor apparatus more on the right side as compared to the left side. But if I keep my knee extended, then the axis of movement will always be anterior to the axis of, then the line of gravity, the weight, this is the weight, this line is the weight, will always be anterior to the axis of knee movement, and then even when the muscle is not contracting, I can keep standing and wait. And so I must know the angle at which this muscle has to act to keep me standing. Therefore, there is a natural mechanism which maintains extension in the weight bearing position of the femur, even though the muscle is not contracting, and we will explain to you that mechanism. That mechanism is called as locking. Now, what is locking? Locking is that there is a primary movement. This thing moves into the slot. Then the key moves, and there is a secondary movement. That secondary movement will prevent the reversal of the primary movement. So this is the lock by definition. So here, as the knee completely extends, this is the primary movement. Extension is the primary movement. Then the femur internally rotates over the tibia on the tie rope of the anterior cruciate ligament. So as it rotates like this, the axis becomes oblique, axis of movement becomes oblique instead of transverse, and therefore the secondary rotation would prevent reversal of extension. And this has to derotate by a muscle which is called as popliteus, which arises from the femoral condyle and inserts on the back of the tibia. So this combination of terminal extension and internal rotation of knee locks the knee so that extension would be maintained even if there is no active contraction of quadriceps. So so now my quadriceps is gone, and what should I do? So we'll draw the ilium here, the acetabulum and the head, and the trochanter, the femoral condyle, the tibia, and at the medial malleolus we'll draw the foot. All right. So one thing that I can do is that by this powerful gluteus maximus, I will extend the hip so that the line of gravity is pushed forward. So as the head of the femur is pushed forward by the action of gluteus maximus, the line of gravity would be pushed forward. Similarly, I can do a plantar flexion at the ankle so that the weight bearing is not on the heel but on the toes, and therefore this line of gravity can be pushed forwards. So I have to push the line of gravity forward. Two natural mechanisms, gluteus maximus power and a powerful gastrocnemius. Or I have to push the knee backwards. Now that is called as genu recurvatum. In all these three mechanisms, the knee will not buckle even if the quadriceps power is less. This is the quadriceps. This is attached to the ligamentum patelli. Even if its power is 0, the knee will not buckle. What else can I do? If the gluteus maximus power is not there and if there is no equinus at ankle, then I will bend forward. I will bend forward. This is my neck and here is my head, and I will use the shoulder and the hand to push the femur backwards, the knee backwards. So I'll move the axis backwards or I will move the line of gravity forwards. Now this is called as hand on knee gait or quadriceps gait. Now, if all this mechanism fails, I'll have to use a brace. So this is the basic mechanism of locking, and when the extensor expansion is injured, as in my case, I must understand this mechanism, and if I have to get up from bed, so this is the bed, then I tie my braces. I tie my braces so my knee would remain protected. I slide down like this. I tie a non-skid shoe, and when this touches the ground, when my foot touches the ground, I use my hands to elevate my body and make it more and more vertical. But then I flex my hip so that my foot becomes flat and I am bearing weight like this on my hands, and then when these are absolutely vertical in good position to weight bear, I straighten my back. So this is the mechanism of getting up from the bed with a quadriceps torn or the extensor expansion ineffective, being facing the bed. I am facing the bed all the time, and I am using my hands to elevate and hip flexes as the foot comes forward to plantigrade position, and then I can extend it. And this is what I am going to demonstrate to you in the connected or edited video. Standing straight, and now I will put my walking stick this side. My knees are locked by these braces, that you see, so they can't buckle. I can independently bear weight on each of the single limbs. So this is single limb stance. I bend forward and touch my bed. So now the weight comes on the hand, and I keep on going forwards till I can easily lie. So this is the position. This is the way to move onto the bed or off the bed if your quadriceps and the extensor expansion, the muscles that extend the knee, are not working, without endangering the or re-injuring the quadriceps mechanism. Thank you. जूता पहना हो. The non-sticking, non-skid shoes, so that you don't slip off on the floor of the wet bathroom, where there may also be soap. Now I will go around, that means on my stomach, and will gradually slide back till the shoes strike the floor, and my servant will record the event. Okay. So अब तो मुझे sequence activities. First, the standing activities in the bathroom. Like brushing, shaving, you see, most of orthopedics and rehabilitation is moving a disabled body or a painful body through life, understanding the structure and function of locomotion. Making the not moving move. Moving is called as char, and not moving is called as achar. So moving and not moving make the full. So the whole world is encompassed by the word Sacharacha. So making the unmoving move, you see, Gautam Rishi's Nari, Ahilya, was turned into stone from moving to unmoving by the curse of her husband Gautam. And just by the touch of the lotus feet of the Lord, when Ram touched her with his lotus feet at the behest of Vishwamitra, she became live, she became moving. So the Lord's work, the work was Ram was to create a moving out of unmoving. And that's exactly what the work of orthopedics and rehabilitation is. The description, beautiful poet that describes it is Parasat pad pavan sok nasavan pragat bhai tat punj sahi देखत रघुनायक जन सुखदायक सनमुख होई कर जोर रही अति प्रेम अधीरा निर्मल नीरा मुख नहीं आवत बचन कही अतिशय बड़ भागी चरणन लागी जुगल नयन जलधार भई. Now I will have a bath and I'll take off this, I'll bend down here, have somebody push water across my head through a pipe, through a mobile shower type of thing, and then after washing my head I will wash the bagal, then I will wash the lower part, then I will wash the whole of the body with water and soap, and thus the bathing would be completed. Then I will stand on the toilet, pass urine in a standing position once again, so that there is no residual urine or little residual urine in the bladder, because lot of residual urine in the bladder can lead to urinary tract infection. And then finally I will do the potty. The potty table you see here, it is against something so that it doesn't slide back. I will hold these two hattas and gradually lower myself onto the potty. I will turn over and again by the help of that shower I will clean myself. So this covers the morning routine of how to clean yourself when your knees are injured or when they are paralyzed and it is difficult to weight bear on the limbs. So I have cleaned my upper body and the head with soap, and now I will do the cleaning of the lower body and body. So cleaning of the lower body is easily done when your weight is not on the feet. So I will take that position and do it. Now you arrange your things beautifully before you leave the bathroom. I sit on this chair, I hold it and sit on this chair. See how I transfer myself to this chair. I do this, I move my feet gradually forward, lower myself into the chair and wait while he makes the bed. See how beautifully he has made this bed. And then I will finish my activities for sitting for a while. So I'll wear my chashma and get my blood pressure taken. Blood pressure would be taken. It is an automatic machine which will take it. Then I will chart it. Till then he is making my bed. This is a special arrangement of pillows on both sides with the bolster in between, so that when I am lying straight, the neck is straight. But when I am lying on the side, the distance between my shoulder and the cheek is covered by the greater height of the bolster, and my neck does not bend laterally. Then over this you will put the bed cover. You put the bed cover like this. And this is my Lord Shiva, who has to be prayed to, whose grace would give the power to bear the disability, bear the pain, bear the disability. So you can sit in front where I am sitting and pray to the Lord while the things are being arranged for you to go from toiletry activities or activities of daily living. They are called as activities of daily living to the bed again. You've done the toilet activities, you have taken your blood pressure, you have taken the drugs that you have to take every day morning. And you see, old people can get quite confused as to which drugs to take. So there is a very interesting and a beautiful apparatus. So दवा वाली वो देना बेटा, दवा का जो इसमें रखते हैं. So this is a very interesting apparatus which sort of makes you store medicines for morning, afternoon and evening, pre-arranged, so that you don't forget taking anything and you don't overtake something. So its date and time is written, you see. And today is Tuesday, I am confirmed. So morning, noon, night, and then some backup, last backup. So for old people, this simple device is an excellent device by which you can regulate compliance of medicine, because compliance is a huge problem with medicine for long term diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, or even in disoriented patients in old age. You see, you have to be very, very precise so that they don't overtake or undertake medicine or take it at a wrong time or double take it, because that can be not only disabling but very life endangering. Now my puja system, you can see Lord Shiva's Shivlik and the water there. I will put some water on him and have a drink of it. So my prayers to the Lord, thanking me for limiting my injury and promoting a fast recovery, and for everything that good that happened to me. That is the meaning of prayer. In prayer, you see, you should not ask, you should only thank. You see the BP, but the most important, you should see the attendant, a trained attendant. We had a Shravan Kumar Yojana with dedication to help the elderly or the less abled. And so my blood pressure has come 134/72, pulse rate 88. Please note it. Note it? लिख दिया? बताइए. 134, 134, 72, 72 and 88, 88. So my blood pressure has been taken. I have taken my drugs, and now I will move on to back to the bed, and I will hand over this camera to my attendant so that he. The thing is, I can wear the banyan on this chair. It will be easy. Take off my spectacles so that they don't come in the way. Hold it in the correct position. Put my hands through it. Finally in my head. And then I will, when I stand up, it will be easier to pull this down. So I don't bother about it much at this point. And you see how I will put my this thing on my neck so that I don't have to hold it. Your hands must always be free. Then on the side I get up, rotate it so that the knees lock up when you are getting a blood pressure. Go here, put my hands, bending my trunk forward, line of gravity forward, and here on the bed. Safe. Now you take off my shoes. Bas. फिर से. You see, this is how he will hold my hand, hold my feet across the pajama in a single go. Again, not straining my quadriceps. And then I will flex a little bit so that he slides it up and my pajama is complete. Then I will take off the towel and slide the rest of the pajama up myself by rotating to the side. Back to the bed. doing my exercise, after getting up off the bed, going to the toilet, brushing, shaving, bathing, potty, and back to the bed. No potty today, so I think it will come in the afternoon. You see, you should not regret that there is no potty, because even if you have to get up once more, you will recover faster.